30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? It's Clutzy and Timmy here, back with another video. And for today's video, we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans. And we're going to be talking about one major topic that's been going on in the Texans world, Texans Twitter, and just pretty much anywhere where you can find Texans content. And that big topic is Aidan Hutchinson versus Kayvon Thibodeaux. And it's pretty much just which guy would you rather want on your football team. Like, say you have the number one pick. I mean, it's still very well likely that we could end up with the number one pick. But it's not necessarily saying that, but it's just which player would you rather add to this team? Like, if you were in the position to add either one, which one would you rather have? I'm just about talking about both of the players, which one I personally would rather have, and just different good and bad things about both of the players. The first player I'm going to talk about is Kayvon Thibodeaux. So Kayvon Thibodeaux is 21 years old, still very, very young. I don't think he turns 22 until the start of the next NFL season. So he's still very, very young. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. And one thing about him, he can line up at both defensive end and outside linebacker, and pretty much anywhere where you need on the defensive line. If you want to, you can line him up over the center, over the guard, or you can line him up outside against the tackle. You can line him up anywhere. He's like a very diverse, he's a very diverse player. So this year, he played in 10 games. He had 35 solo tackles, 14 assisted tackles, 49 total tackles, with 12 tackles for losses, and 7 sacks. So in 10 games, he had 7 sacks. But I believe in one game, I forgot which one it was. I believe it was like one of the night games. He registered, I think it was close to 12 pressures. It may have been even more than that. I don't really remember how many. But I don't know for a fact. It was over 12 pressures. And having over 12 pressures in a football game, that can really win you a football game in the NFL. If a defensive end or a pass rusher in general can register 12 pressures, I would assume you're going to win, unless your offense is just absolute horrid, kind of like ours right now. But yeah, his stats from the season, I guess they don't necessarily pop out at you, but for the most part, it's just because he's inconsistent. Like, he's a very, very good player, tons of potential, very, very athletic, but he's at times inconsistent. He always deals with injuries once in a while, and that's one thing that's really been a worry about him. I believe he's had like 2 major injuries throughout his college career. I'm not sure if that's right, but I know for sure he's had at least one. And a few minor injury knocks here and there. So that's one thing about him. A lot of people think he's gonna be Jadeveon Clowney 2.0. He going to the league with a bunch of potential, likely being the number 1 pick, and just not being able to live up to that hype, whether it be injuries or just not having the right mindset or whatever it may be, just not being able to live up to their number 1 pick hype. And that's why a lot of people are kind of concerned about him. Personally, I don't think I would compare him to Jadeveon Clowney. Like, that's not fair. Like, he's still in college. I mean, he's entering the NFL draft, but he's still in college. Like, you can't just classify him, oh, he's Jadeveon Clowney 2.0, just because he gets injured or he may be inconsistent. Like, for all we know, he could put that together. He could become the best pass rusher in the NFL. Like, we don't know. And he has the potential to do so. Like, he's freakish. Like, as I said, he can line up anywhere on the defensive line. And I don't think I mentioned this. He could also drop back into coverage. Not necessarily saying that he's good at it, but when needed, say you're close to the goal line, say like you're on the 5-yard line, or your opposition is on your 5-yard line, in the red zone, and it's 4th and goal. You want to bring pressure, but you also want to not really let them do anything. It's 4th and goal. You don't want to let them score. So if you want to, you can just drop back Kayvon and add extra defenders to either maybe cover the running back, maybe the tight end, or maybe most of the time teams have like the X receiver running a slant, like DeAndre Hopkins for us. In the red zone, he would 9 times out of 10 run a slant when we're like 5 yards out, and most of the time we would hit him for a slant for the touchdown. And with Kayvon Thibodeaux, you can kind of take that away in a sense. If you want to drop him back, he has crazy speed. I believe he's like 4. I think he runs like a 4.6. I want to say 4.7, somewhere around there. So he's very, very fast for a defensive end. And as I said, he's not the best at dropping back, but if you really need him to, he's gonna be able to do it. So yeah, that's pretty much just Kayvon Thibodeaux. The next guy I'm gonna talk about is, of course, a fan favorite, Aidan Hutchinson. And he actually recently said on I think it was an interview with ESPN. I'm not sure. I think it was the ESPN part of Houston, some Houston reporter for ESPN. I don't really know. But he pretty much said that, oh, if the Houston Texans were to draft me, I would love to play for them. And I believe his dad is from Houston. And I think Aidan played high school football here. It was either one of the two. It was either Aidan Hutchinson or his dad that played high school football here. So, I mean, having him come back to the city where his dad already lives, that'd be a very, very good thing for the city, for the culture, for him, and I'm sure he would feel at home. But yeah, his stats this year, he played in 13 total games, 33 solo tackles, 25 assisted tackles, 58 total tackles, 15 and a half tackles for losses, and 14 sacks, and 3 passes defensed. So the biggest thing that stands out to me is in 13 games, he had 15 and a half total tackles for losses. Like, that's pretty damn good. Like, if you can get that type of production from your franchise defensive end in the NFL, have more tackles for losses than games, that's incredible. I know obviously it's college, and you really can't compare it to the NFL, but even then, most of the time, he played some very good tackles. And I want to go back to the Ohio State game. The Ohio State game, I think he had 3 total sacks, and I believe he had like 3 total tackles for losses. And it was against one of the country's best left tackles. I think he's or not one of the best, but he's pretty far up there. He's supposed to be projected to be drafted in the top 2 rounds, likely going in the second. The Ohio State guy, I'm not really sure what his name is, but he's a left tackle for Ohio State. And for Aidan Hutchinson to just pretty much destroy him, 3 sacks, tons of pressure, that's incredible. I think he had over 8 pressures in that Ohio State game, and to register 3 sacks and 3 tackles for losses, that's incredible. And Aidan Hutchinson, he has franchise guy written all over him. He's very funny. He has a very good personality. I mean, obviously, it doesn't really matter for football, but it's just some pluses. Very good personality, very funny, just a very good guy. And he's drawing a lot of comparisons to J.J. Watt. Obviously not for the style of play, because, I mean, I guess you could say that, but Aidan Hutchinson likely isn't going to be ever as good as J.J. J.J. is in a different world on his own. He's like he's the best, if not, he's a top 3 Texans player, or a top 3 Texans franchise player, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Aidan Hutchinson, like, I would love him on the Texans. Like, honestly, right now, I think I would rather have Aidan over Kayvon. I think Kayvon has the more potential. I think Kayvon has the better chance to be better than Aidan. But the question is, will he? And I don't think he will. I wouldn't be mad with either one. I would love both of them. But I'm kind of on the train that's riding with Kayvon's injury concerns and inconsistency. He's very, very good. And if he can live up to the hype, he's going to be the best pass rusher in the NFL. But if he can't, he's going to be another Jadeveon Clowney, as people are saying. Aidan Hutchinson, on the other hand, he's more NFL ready. He's going to come in day 1 producing. And in his first season, I think he could register 10 plus sacks pretty easily, actually. He's going to go off at least 1 game for more than 2, maybe 3 sacks. It's just going to happen. And his ability to get tackle for losses, get behind the line very fast, get the running back in the backfield, and just the pure speed to chase down the quarterback, it's unmatched. Like, you're never going to see this. Like, this class of defensive ends, especially at the top, Kayvon and then Aidan, is probably one of the best you're going to see for some time, for maybe a few more years. And either player, you really can't go wrong. And one thing that I really want to mention is, who is the reporter? I think her name is like Josina Anderson. I'm not sure if that's her name or not. But she reported that the Detroit Lions, if they were to draft right now, that they would very well likely draft Kayvon Thibodeaux. Let me find it right now. Okay, so her name is Josina. Yeah, it's Josina Anderson. And she reported, she said, quote by quote, "If the Lions have the number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I'm told the current mindset is to select Oregon defensive end Kayvon Thibodeaux. Per league source, no mock needed. So I mean, that's pretty much just saying if Detroit were to choose right now, then they would likely go Kayvon. And then currently at number 2 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. But in my opinion, I could very, very well see them going Evan Neal. They need more offensive line protection than defensive line, of course. And which would leave Aidan and Hutchinson falling to us at number 3. And I would be very, very happy. Like, there's really nothing more I can say. I would just be very happy. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Let me know what y'all guys think. Let me know who would rather have, Aidan Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeaux. Which one y'all think is gonna have a better career, and which one is gonna fit in Houston better if we get the chance to draft either one of them. But yeah, as I said, pretty much the video. I hope you guys have a good day, and it's been Clutch City Entertainment out. Peace.